So would you look at that, we're almost done. So throughout the course, I actually learned a lot about like how I read and how I've improved my reading as well. I've improved my interpretation of the author's ideas through listening, speaking, and all those analyses that we did. Basically, I can understand where the author's coming from now because having written so much myself throughout the course, it just makes it that much easier to comprehend, and I know how difficult it is to communicate ideas. Also, I've become a much quicker reader myself, and that's just important in all aspects of life, just being able to read things quicker. It's just convenient. Speaking of quick text that we read, my personal favorite text was A Story of War and Change by Reza Kiarash. I love that text so much because it's just kind of relatable, seeing like my favorite genre is action, and seeing stuff kind of somewhat similar in movies. It almost felt as if it was me personally running through those extremities, dodging the firefight, and just helping everybody. And it's just the extremity itself and just how kind of relatable it is to many action movies and stereotypes like that. It's just far more relatable, and it was just such a successful piece. Now that we've talked about my reading preferences and improvements, we're now on to the writing side of things. So, of what we have done so much in the last 17 days. So let me tell you this, I am the serial procrastinator. With every single writing task, it'll always take me probably twice as much longer as the average kind of person to write it, because I panic and things like that. But my way to improve that was I set kind of personal deadlines throughout the day. So like, be done this task by then, be done this task by then. You can't go outside until this is done. So that was better, instead of kind of trying to cram it all in like the last hour of the day. So from like 10:59 to 11:59 and just freaking out the whole time. But let me tell you this, once I got past my writer's block, oh, I was writing alright. I mean, personally, my favorite thing that I handed in was probably my fairy tale analysis. Not because, I mean, I did get probably my best mark on that, and I got the little badge for like one of the best in the course, but it just felt so good handing it in because I felt like I'd just done such a good job on it. And I know other people that had read it as well just thought like, wow, like this is well done. You've kind of linked your ideas together well. It flows smoothly. So that was personally my favorite that I handed in. So once I get all my writing down, the next step is really translating into words. I do struggle with certain aspects of speaking. I often speak at a fairly monotone kind of level, and it just makes it difficult to hear the emotion in my voice when I speak. And I also do have the tendency to talk quickly, which I assume you've seen in this already. But I also don't stop and pause for effect, and that seems to kind of take away from what I usually say, and it doesn't let people know when I'm switching from idea to idea. As much as we talk ourselves, we also have to do a lot of listening. Like, I know in the Hamlet discussion, listening was one of our marks, and also we had to listen to Adichie's TED Talk as well. And so the two places that I like to listen the most to were, since I'm at my cottage now, my favorite was at home, was in my room. So what I did was I closed the blinds so it'd be all dark in my room, and I just lie down in my bed and put my noise canceling headphones on, so that way I could really just kind of focus on on my thoughts and what they were saying. At my cottage, it's actually right here where I am right now, which is a desk in the upstairs, and it looks out as well. I can pop my noise canceling headphones in, and it's nice to be able to see the waves crash and the blue water. Yeah, so that's my most successful listening places. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is the ton of media text that we looked at throughout the course. Unfortunately, we didn't do one of my favorite examples of media text, which is actually infomercials. I love watching infomercials. They're quite funny, but also people in them, they have quite a bit of humor, emotion. They're great at translating their tone, and it's just kind of exciting to watch because of their enthusiasm. So that's one that I really would have loved if we could. It was really kind of cool to see that Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Message, and how it really applied to all the different mediums we did look at. Like, for example, if you compare something that somebody is just saying but you cannot see them versus something or somebody does where they use hand gestures, facial expressions, other things like that, it just makes it that much better and easy to comprehend as they deliver their speech. It's just some stuff is not visible through radio. Well, that's all for me. Thank you so much, Miss Anderson. It's been a great kind of class. You've been a fantastic teacher, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.